Gonna do that for the camera.
I'm nervous.
Welcome to Over a Pint, episode 8, the Ocho. This week we have Drew and Heather. So Drew was named 22 out of 30 for the Remax 30 under 30. And my client, who was named 11 out of 30, is Heather Beauchesne. So why don't you guys... Oh wait, before we get started, I know, Drew, you brought some beer. I also brought beer for you. Because I saw some and I'm like, this is Drew.
Perfect. You know what? I wouldn't have brought beer if I knew I was going to get put on blast 30 seconds in, so. Pompous ass. English ale. That's perfect. It's even got a picture of me. That's a nice little pompous ass there. That's perfect.
Is that the LCBO picking up Heather's beer? And I'm like, there we go.
At first I thought it was going to say pamplemousse or something like that. But pompous ass is even better. English ale. Handcrafted.
Perfect.
4.2, that's a little rich for me. Great Lakes Brewery. All right, let's do this. All right, so I guess I'm not drinking that one.
All right, so you're drinking pompous ass. Heather doesn't like beer.
Nope.
So she settled on a lovely Corona.
High maintenance and all.
Yeah, and I'm drinking the Muskoka Brewery Mad Tom IPA.
I think if Corona's good enough for, Toretto, it's good enough for Heather, right? I mean,
I dry like the Fast and the Furious.
Maybe that's how he was able to actually, stay in a fight with The Rock and not lose, because that was totally unrealistic.
Yeah. Yes, you pour beer real good too.
Wow. Jesus.
Inappropriate joke.
So many to be made right now.
Yeah, this could have a lot of edits in this episode.
Pompous sauce looks pretty good.
All right. Well, cheers. Welcome to Over a Pint, the Ocho.
Cheers. The Ocho.
All right, well, why don't we start? You guys just both introduce who you are, where you work, all that fun stuff.
Well, you have to tee, my lady, since you are number 11. And
It's
not
true.
22.
Twice as good.
Twice as good.
Yeah.
Twice as good. My name is Heather Beauchesne and I work at Remax Cherry Realty. My team name is the House to Home team and I service the Barrie and Simcoe area.
My name is Drew Macintosh. The Macintosh team, we are in Orillia, Ontario. We service Orillia and the 3 surrounding townships of Romera, Oro-Medonte, and Severn. Small team, just started kind of a year and a bit ago. Just finished our 4th year in the business total. And that's it. That's it. So small team, kind of like Heather, both very small, early stages.
Half as good.
Half as good. That's it. Twice the size, twice the weight. Half as good.
Well, would you say the over-under on times we referenced this was 1.5?
Yeah, so we're
way past that. We're 30 seconds in.
Yeah, that's not good. We still do pretty well. Okay?
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Size doesn't matter, guys.
Motion in the ocean, and we got good motion with our marketing. It's good. It's just not as good, right? So,
what's different between the two of you with your marketing? Huh?
I love his marketing because it's fun.
Yeah, that's true. We have fun.
The cribs thing is kind of pretty awesome.
Yeah, we try to keep it real. We kind of copied some folks in Ottawa. I'm not going to give them a full shout out, but
don't send your referrals.
No, we try and do things a little bit differently.
What they are for people watching who don't know you.
So I find with videos, obviously video is huge, but they kind of get to be the same old video over and over. You've seen one, seen them all. The agent standing in front of the house. Welcome to our awesome house. Come take a look. Soft little kiddie music going through the house, and it ends up being 3.5 minutes when it could have been a minute. Hank the cat's kind of going nuts. So, and then it kind of ends with like a little thing, and that's it. So what we try and do is try to keep the engagement up. So I'm in. Hank, you're killing me. I was on a roll.
Getting in there.
So we try and keep the engagement up by having me kind of I open the door, welcome to the home, and then kind of just get featured throughout the house. But not like full voiceover, just kind of keeping engagement up. And what we've seen is our average video length watch time has doubled. So we went from an average of like 37 seconds to like just over a minute. So we're getting, you know, more people watching for longer periods of time. So any, you know, more eyeballs on our properties is always a good thing. So that's one thing. I mean, we kind of copied the Charlton team with some funny open house signs. They did a wicked job with their Lionel Richie for forever, and now they've kind of branched out into some other ones. So we live by the good artist borrow, great artist steal. Hank, welcome to the show. So yeah, we kind of just try and grab the 5 best % of every agent that we, you know, really admire and are trying to like be like, and steal 5% of what they do really well and create our kind of own 100%, right? So it's worked out fairly well. Like I said, we're still new to the game. We're 4 years, just over 4 years in a small market of Aurelia, 32,000 people. So that's some stuff that we do differently. But
how many is we?
So myself, I have an unlicensed admin. She's on mat leave right now. She decided to have a baby. Selfish. The third one too. A week after we had a baby, the big joke was, "Oh, same dad." Yeah, no. Same dad. So she's on mat leave. So we have another unlicensed admin. We currently have somebody in the process of getting licensed. They just finished phase 3. And we have one other person coming on board in the next kind of, that's awesome. The next kind of like, I would say 2 months. We'll have 2 licensed, and unlicensed, and then a third license coming on. So looking to grow slow, grow the right way. So that's our we.
Sweet.
Yeah.
How about you?
So I've got one, I just hired a full-time administrator, and I've got one unlicensed assistant, and all my marketing stuff is through you.
That's true. So we have another whole team, so it's kind of like you have more.
So it's like I have more, and I should be doing more videos, and we get yelled at about doing them all the time, but
Yep.
I am awful in front of cameras, so I choose not to.
No, you just think you are.
There is that. I occasionally do videos, and when I do videos, we get good traction, but I don't do
Hey, this
videos
keeps
often.
working. I just don't want to do it more. It's
Don't
really
have the
the theme
patience
of
to
what
talk
we're
in front of
working
it,
with.
and then I go French, and I talk fast, and that's just how I go.
Yeah, but we can run them in French too.
Totally.
I know, yeah.
Open it up.
Yeah, why not go for a different audience?
Totally.
Make that happen.
Yeah, but now that I have an administrator, I'll be a lot more organized, and I can actually do videos. That's my goal.
So you started on a team.
Yes, I started on a team, so this is my 9th year in real estate.
Which is why she's number 11 and not 22. Twice as long.
I started when I was 21, so it took me about 5 years before I started to really get going. I was in the partnership. I decided to branch by myself last March, just because I was overworked and I wanted a better quality of life, and so I decided to go on my own and had a great successful year, and as you know, I was pretty much working on my own before anyways, so
Shade.
his
Shots fired.
his comment during the interview was like, "Hey, can you do like this area for me for advertising?" And he's like, "Well, Heather wouldn't even share it with her business partner, so I'm pretty sure she's going to tell you no." I'm like, "Yes,
Yeah,
that
was
me."
amazing. Literally, her old business partner reaches out and is like, "So I know you're doing Heather's marketing. Can you run these campaigns for me?" Heather's like, "Nope."
When I was still on his team,
Yeah, that was awesome.
I was very business focused.
Yeah. Well, you're killing it.
That was pretty funny. So,
How many deals did you guys do last year?
I did 53, and then my assistant just did 2, so we did 55 last year.
but she started pretty late in the year.
Yeah, she
didn't
got her license in July, so that's just when the market changed.
Totally.
So then she did her first 2 deals, and it was in November.
Because 50 was your benchmark. That's what you wanted to hit, right?
Yeah, when I hit 50
Yeah, that's
last
awesome.
year, yeah, so.
Yeah, I was only 44. So, it's just so much better than me. At least my average price point is way lower too. Damn it.
Yeah, that's great. That really helps out.
Yeah, it really helps out. Like less deals and lower average price. That's good.
Yeah, so you have
So
something
we're
to live up
drinking
to.
pompous ass, right? So.
We got some expensive listings.
What's expensive there? Like 500?
So our average probably about 375 right now. It was 357 351 in 2016. 2017 was a little bit of an outlier year for everyone. We pushed it all the way up to just shy of 400. We're probably 375 market. So expensive for us. I mean, we have lots of waterfront too. Just like that, we share borders with Heather, right? I mean, we both work Oro. You guys do a little bit in Aurelia, not very much. Like
No, once in a blue moon,
Right.
if I have anything in Aurelia, but I prefer not to.
Yeah, so we would share kind of Simcoe. We have Simcoe and Cooch. We have the two lakes there, so we have a lot of waterfront. So anything up kind of in that $1 million range is going to be on the water.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys will have some houses, like you'll have subdivision houses that are 750, 850, right?
Yeah, like nowadays it's in Barrie. If you have one of those detached, pretty big houses, you're looking at this at least 700. In the smaller townhouses, you're looking at 400.
Yeah,
maybe 350 if you're lucky.
we'd be 556 kind of thing for like a subdivision new build.
Yeah.
That's say 2,400 square feet, 4-bedroom with basic finishes. Like I have one right now for $599. It's brand new, but nothing like no granite, no just 9-foot ceilings. So our price point's definitely a lot lower, but we have less agents too, right?
Yeah.
So we have 150 agents in Aurelia. You guys have what, 900 ish?
I think it was at 1,200 last
Yeah,
year, but
it's
that's
insane.
when the boom. So on average, in the last couple of years, it's usually around 800, 850. I think
Right.
we've gotten up into the 900s now, but
Yeah.
just for the Barrie Real Estate Board.
Yeah, and we both have lots of out of town agents that sprinkle in here and there, right? But every town's gonna have that. So
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
bound to happen anyways, right?
Yeah, they'll travel 3-4 hours sometimes, so you're not that far.
totally, yeah, no, that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I've been to Ottawa. Let's do it. Let's do it, right?
Yeah, I went there once on a weekend.
Yeah,
I'm an
totally.
expert.
I am an expert. I know everything about
Yeah,
Ottawa.
I'm at the
Yeah.
University of Kingston, right? So yeah, sure. I know the area.
Basically anywhere from Windsor to Ottawa to
North-
Sudbury.
Yeah, North. I mean, I grew up in North Bay, so
There you go.
like, that's a nice triangle for me. North
So this
Bay,
is actually you
Windsor.
moving to the city now that you've come down to Aurelia.
Well, North Bay is bigger than Aurelia,
It is,
but yeah, Aurelia, it's kind of the center of my world. My wife told me at a very early stage in our relationship that this is where we'd be living. So
That's nice of her.
Happy
Yeah,
wife, happy life, right?
for sure. So and thankfully she still is married to me. So that's awesome.
Could never figure that one out.
No, married up, like way up.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you level
It's
up. I
true.
mean, this is like leveling up. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like when he's older, everyone's gonna look at him and be like, he's got money.
totally. Or like some other serious things going on that we've already talked about downstairs, right? But we've already.
Welcome to the Ocho.
The Ocho.
Alright, so you've been in it 4 years. I know she started on a team. Your first year, how did you go about getting business?
I had no idea what I was doing. None. I was in construction before that. ICI construction, like schools, commercial, like car dealerships, stuff like that. I had an opportunity to move out to Edmonton. By opportunity, I mean, hey, you're going to Edmonton, you're going to be laid off. So I decided to get my license. I'd lived in 23 houses in my first 26 years. So I've been around it a lot. Always wanted to get into it, but never been in sales, never been in commission only. Didn't grow up in the city that I was going to be selling in, so I didn't have those lifelong friends. So I was scared shitless, to be honest. Chose a brokerage that was probably the safe choice. Not as many top producers, not as good of a split, but all the support that you'd have, or all the things that you need or want, which I didn't get any of it, which is kind of par for the course. But I just kind of got lucky. First day I got licensed was Friday. I was driving to a basketball tournament, got a call, hey, my house expires Sunday, can you list it on Monday? Yeah, let's do it, right? So listed it on Monday, found the buyer on Kijiji, double-ended it Thursday, closed in 30 days, and I was like, fuck, this is easy. I was
Do that every time.
seriously, right? I'm like, everyone in the office was like, oh my God, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Somebody called me, so I'm a friend of a friend. So I was like, okay, well, this is, had some change in my pocket. We just got married 3-4 months before that. So, it wasn't tight, but thankfully my wife has a job that she could kind of carry us for a little bit. And yeah, just started kind of doing open houses for other people. That was huge for me. A lot of agents don't like doing open houses, and I just saw that as a huge opportunity for myself. I like to talk, obviously. I like to be in front of people. I like to make people laugh. So let's do an open house. Started kind of building that network up. And then took a Joshua Smith 90-day mastery. Phenomenal course. I know you've talked to Joshua,
Yep,
I think, right?
on his podcast.
Yeah, it was awesome. So that was a game changer for me. And then I realized quickly, no one was investing in themselves to get better. Everyone was just kind of that old school, put a sign up, put it in the newspaper, we'll see you when we get an offer, right? Just disappear and we'll call you. So I was like, okay, there's a huge opportunity for me to do this. Plus I was the youngest one in my office, the youngest kind of realtor, probably, if not the youngest, one of the youngest in Aurelia. So I was like, okay, I want to do this for the next 35 plus years. For me, I looked at it as a marathon, not a sprint. Let's just dive in and do open houses and do this and that. And I think I did 15 deals from April 1st to the end of the year. So I made the same amount of money as I was making in construction. So it was great. It was a wash in less time, being home every night and not having to slug around, blocks and mason, because that's what I was doing, masonry stuff. So I was like, okay, we can do this. Wife got pregnant once we realized that, I can make some money doing this, right? And kind of just tried to double my business every year for the first couple of years and then add 20%. That's kind of how I've looked at it. We've projected more than that, which is great. But that's kind of how I got into it. It was out of necessity almost. Yeah. Right? I mean, I think sometimes the best, when your back's against the wall, that's kind of when your true colors come through and you have nothing to lose, first of all. Or actually, I probably had everything to lose. Everything to lose. But at the same time, like knowing that I had that 4 months of pay in my bank account just in case, allowed me to always work for my client and not have to want that deal to happen more than the client does. Because I think as soon as you want a deal to happen more than the client does, you're not working in their best interests, and it projects. I mean, they see that, right? So that's kind of how I got my start. So,
do you still do open houses?
Yeah, I do. I'm not as personable as Drew is because I don't like talking to people sometimes, I would say.
Right up her alley is today.
Right? And I was like, oh, this is great. Let Drew talk most of the time. I'm just going to be like the middle person right here. Yeah. I do still do open houses because a lot of my clients, I end up being really good friends with them. So a lot of the time, I just like to be there at the forefront all the time. So usually in the first week or the first 2 weeks, I'll do an open house and say, hey, this is the best time to get the traffic through. I'll be here and I'll tell you how it goes. Like last weekend, we were supposed to do an open house and I felt really bad canceling on both days, but it's pretty much kicking my clients out of the house to go into an ice storm.
Totally.
For no one to show up. So like, okay, you know what? In our mindset, we'll just do it next weekend. So I do still do open houses on occasion. I don't do other people's open houses.
Which we don't either anymore.
Yeah,
we
now you're busy enough, yeah.
Do you guys make people sign in, or you just come in and walk around?
So, I don't make people sign in. What I have is, and this is from Joshua Smith's course, is I have a sign on the front door that says, it's like a stop sign, and it says, please come in at the owner's request. We ask that you sign in. And having that on the front door when they're walking in, it's like 90% sign up. Yeah. We get our admin at the front desk and either myself or my assistant, somebody, to sign in the first 2 spots. Yeah. Once that's been established, people they're like sheep, right? Kind of herd them towards like, oh, everyone else is doing it, I might as well do it too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So our last open house, we had 34 groups through and we had 28 sign up. So that's phenomenal, right?
Yeah. It's few and far between that. A lot of people don't like to do it, or they'll just put their name and then their email address, and then 90% of the time they're like, I have an agent. Even they might not have an agent, but it's still for the peace of mind.
For sure.
And I do the same thing, is you just put the sign up saying, at the seller's request, would you mind just signing in? And then I use my buddy's name, like, hey, here you go, this is your information, and then...
Write one left-handed,
exactly, one like cursive-writed, different writing, like, here you go, and then get people to sign in, and then a lot of times, if they're very serious, then you'll have a discussion with them, and they actually sign in. If they don't sign in the start of it, and you walk them through the house and you have a good rapport, then they end up signing on the way out, and you just put an asterisk beside them to follow up, right? No. So it's just...
And we're still pen and paper for that.
Yeah, me too. I don't like using the iPad. It's just...
No, don't you still print out your internet leads? Are you still doing that?
I like paper, okay? That is my thing. I love paper. I don't like the whole paperless agent. That is not me. I like to see things in front of me. This is the best way I do it.
I remember the first time we came to your office, like we were sending all these leads into your CRM for the follow-up system, and she pulls out her binder with printed sheets of every lead we sent.
It was like 300 pages of just like, oh, this guy came up, here's a note, we followed up with them.
That's awesome.
Now we have a different program we use.
Yeah, hurts the automation software.
Al Gore's not watching this, so he's going to have a heart attack. Right?
I'm such a paper person.
We're half and half. I mean, we're with the iPad, I found people were just getting bogged down by that one iPad, and then you're waiting. It's like, okay, and then they type something in wrong and have to go back, and there's just so much pilot error with that. So
or the non-techie people, which is like, where is this letter? Here you go.
So we have like 3 or 4 little stations essentially. They're all in the same spot, but like we can just hand it out to people, It's been pretty good because the first half hour of an open house is usually just slammed, right? So well, if it's going to be busy, it's going to be busy probably the first 45 minutes is when you get 70% of the people.
Yeah, depending on what time the open house is kind of thing. Yeah.
What's your follow-ups like for open house? Like people sign in. What happens when the open house is done? Start with Heather.
Great.
You love talking, so we
I
start
know
with you.
so much. This is so much fun. Well, after the open house is done, I usually just, usually most of the time, our open houses aren't super busy, whereas like you get 80 people and it's like you don't know which person is which. So usually the ones that I know you get a good rapport with, and the ones that didn't say, hey, I have an agent, then I'll always say, hey, just want to say thank you for coming through the open house. If you have any questions, let me know. Or even if they have an agent, say, I know you have an agent, so if you have any questions, feel free to let me know who your agent is and be happy to correlate any information that you require. You should just do that. The ones that are serious, I actually like the listing will respond back, and sometimes they'll say, okay, thank you, and then that's it. You know they have an agent, so that's fine. But usually we'll do like an email follow-up just saying, hey, thank you for coming through. If you have any feedback that you could provide that you didn't already give us, that'd be great just to find out if they think, hey, the house smelled like cat pee. You're like, okay, didn't notice that, but you did, so okay, great.
I live with cats, I just don't smell it.
Yeah, right? Because some people are just like prone to like not smelling that stress, so I should just try to get feedback if I don't get it personally from the people.
That's good.
Yeah, we're same. I mean, I grab my list Monday morning. It's on my admin's desk. She looks at it. Loads the people that are not working with a realtor into our CRM, but emails everyone on Monday just a quick follow-up, thanking them for coming. If they are working with a realtor, we just ask again who the realtor is, just so that if they want to be kept in the loop on potential offers or reductions or whatever. Typically they'll come back, yeah, my agent is this, or you know what, not at this time, it's dead. We drop it. Anyone who isn't, we just try and reach out and just like an internet lead, we just treat them like a duty call essentially. If someone was driving by and called about the property, it's essentially the same thing as someone come through the open house, other than they've physically taken the time to come to that open house. So they're serious enough. Could be a nosy neighbor, could be whatever, but we love nosy neighbors coming through our open houses. I'm very transparent with my clients that we invite the neighbors. Typically if someone lives in that area, they live there for a reason, and they might know somebody else who wants to live here, right? So where Heather lives, like this awesome spot, if your neighbor was selling her house, you'd be like, oh, listen, somebody's selling my house, like my street's awesome, this, that, or you hate your street,
We're like, hey, so you want to let me buy your house?
Exactly,
I don't want an unknown neighbor. I'll pick my own neighbor.
That's
Thanks.
the Zuckerberg move.
That's it.
I tried to do that.
neighbors.
I tried to buy my neighbor. I did.
That's what happens.
That's how we got 11 out of 3.
First class, so green.
You'll get there.
I'm riding in with free.
But we're both like over 30 this year, so we're done.
That's
That's
it.
true. Now they gotta make it.
Or it's our last year being 30, so I don't know if we'll still go.
Are you both 87?
I'm 30, but yeah, I'm born in 87.
Yeah. But when did you turn 30?
We're all the exact same age.
We are. Cheers to that. September.
I know, October.
July. Ha.
You're old.
Yeah.
Can't even be number one at that. Right?
Yeah, come on. You're the baby here.
You're in the middle.
Yeah, I'm so good at maths.
You know your months.
Yeah, that's
your
me.
poor kids.
Yeah.
That's true. I actually made my kid's birthday so originally my Wi-Fi password for a while was my wedding anniversary, so I always remember it that way. And maybe my daughter's birthday now. This is the easiest way to remember.
Did I just give away your password for everything? Is Hank your password for everything? Your cat?
No, but you should see what my Wi-Fi
I
name is. It's Hanging Chloe.
You should see her regular passwords that I have for her CRM and stuff.
Everyone laughs at my passwords all the time.
Yeah.
My new admin, I was like, oh yeah, this is the password for this, and she just looks at me. She's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, my assistant could ruin my life if she wanted to. She's like,
Completely.
she said, what's the password? I said, she goes, okay. No, she tries the 5 or 6 that I have for different things with capitals and this and that. She's like, yeah, got it. Or they only had 3 tries. You're locked out for an hour.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, I don't.
That's what I actually just realized I hate about my new CRM. It's one of the ones that after 90 days it forces you to change, and you can't use a password you previously used.
Which is really annoying.
Yeah.
Our
I have like 4 that I rotate.
the berry board used to be like that. So you'd be like changing the password and changing like the number and going up by 1. So you're like, okay, which one is this one? Is it number 1, 2, 3? Keep going higher and higher and start back to scratch.
I use LastPass now, which will like save your passwords for you to go into sites. And that's actually something you could use to send to your admin, so they wouldn't actually have to know your passwords. But so for me, I'm like, just auto-generate me a password for the site. So it's like lowercase e, uppercase like F, and then 8, 7. Like you're never gonna remember it.
Yeah.
Like if I ever lose access to LastPass, I'm never getting into another thing again.
If I lose the password to my website login, I'm screwed because it's literally 30 digits and numbers, and it's like just like a cluster. And I'm like, yeah, I just keep the email and copy and paste it all the time.
That's what I do. That's what LastPass is good for.
I just put all that on my admin. I get locked out.
If she
It's her
leaves, you're
fault.
screwed.
Yeah, it's her fault.
It happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You need more?
I don't know. I don't know if I need another pompous ass. Some serious pompous ass.
We do have more.
Best part is I don't have to go anywhere now.
That's true. Well, that's the only problem with the show. So, like, like you look at some podcast interviews do is they'll stack up like 8 in a day, and that's like 2 months of content. I'm like, max I could do is 2. And depending on the interview, like I did one with Chuck Charlton. We drank 2 liters of beer, and we did the interview at 10:15 in the morning.
This is legendary.
Yeah, they were like, all right.
Great morning.
Yeah, I'm like, I had to wait. Like, after we finished filming, him and I chatted for like another hour off camera. I was like, I need to sober up enough that it's okay to try it.
Can we go DD to Jack Astor's and get some food? Thanks.
I could talk
Do you
about
not have like Uber Eats or anything up here?
maybe very
Skip the dish.
Skip the dish. We have that now.
awesome.
Do you?
Yeah, we just got 3G Wi-Fi too. It's pretty good.
It's
Or whatever, it's not 3G Wi-Fi. I don't know what it's called. We don't have that
literally
one.
competing things there. He's from Aurelia. Just you can forget about
That's all you need to know is he's from Aurelia and you can judge all
we're
you
both
want.
north of 7, so it's really it's like
We're actually all north
all
of
3 of
7,
us are north
technically.
of 7. But Chuck Charlton, I could talk to him for days.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. Is like I didn't even realize it. I thought we'd been talking for like 45 minutes.
I mean, Melissa's
then-
way cooler, but I could still talk. I could talk to Chuck.
I feel like you would talk to anyone. I feel like you're one of those people that you'll go into any situation. Like, you'll go to a house party, you'll end up talking to everyone, and I'm the one going to a house party sitting in the corner by myself.
Yeah, you're my wife.
Yeah.
Not literally. But yeah, no, she's like that too.
This is how you announce the change.
Yeah.
We're a team.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah, we have partnered up together in more ways than one. No, I'm the center of the room guy for sure. Loud clothes, loud shoes.
I was kind of funny when, like, in university, I was like that. I'd talk to people at the party, and there was this one time, it was a theme party. The theme was white trash.
Classy.
And so I did. It was a big kegger, and I'm talking to this one guy who like nailed the outfit. And I'm like, this is hilarious. Like, you could not have picked a better one. Turns out it was not an outfit. He was a homeless guy who showed up to the party. And I ended up talking to him for like 45 minutes. And it turns out like what happened is like he saw them on the bus trying to like lug these kegs in, and he gave them a hand. And then they're just like, oh, we're having a party like tonight. You can come by if you want.
That's
They
awesome.
showed up. I was like,
Homeless guy, white
I was talking to the
trash.
homeless guy at the university party. It was awesome. He was actually pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Oh, God.
Yeah, good times.
So what are you doing differently this year? Anything? Or you just letting him tell you what to do differently?
I pretty much go, hey, so this is what we want to do. No, I think this year I am going to be doing things differently because I am hiring a full-time administrator, and she is on a paid salary, so then that makes me like, okay, crap, she's getting paid this much money a month. I kind of need to sell a couple more houses.
Sure.
So this year we changed our CRM to Follow Up Boss, which you said was a great one. So we
That's
decided
awesome.
to do that because literally Andrew would be getting me a couple hundred leads a month, and then I would let them just die and sit there and do absolutely nothing. So we've started
Internet
using.
leads and people who don't like to talk to people don't always
Don't
work.
always coordinate very
Crazy.
well. I was like, oh, look, a lead came in. Great. It's just there, and that's it. And then I just let it die and do nothing.
How easily she could be number 1, eh?
Right?
Right?
That, she got 11 with that. What's your excuse?
Seriously.
So now we just switched that up, that my administrator is going to start helping us doing the follow-up to make sure everything's up to par and just better facilitating all that. And then so that'll give me a lot more time to focus on prospecting and getting new listings and new buyers and stuff like that.
Making videos.
making videos. Like, it is already, mid-April, and I've done maybe 2 videos.
And one of them's because I got it for you for free.
That is true. That one's coming up shortly.
It'll be a game changer for you, I think, having a full-time admin. Is she full-time?
She's gonna be full-time, and it'll be great because, like, today I literally drove all the way to Sega Beach to put in a key in the lockbox to drop off feature sheets, to drive all the way back.
Totally.
Which is, like, it's an hour time wasted. I could be doing other stuff. So it's going to be so much better for myself. And then I can count on her saying, okay, so today you've got a new listing coming out. We're going to go and do a video. And then she's a friend of mine, so she knows she can kind of push me to say, hey, this is your schedule. You're doing this today. Right. You need to do this video. And let's go. Let's get it done. Let's go. So that will help me a lot to kind of up my business as well.
Yeah, accountability, right?
So will this mean that if we set you up with a virtual calendar, it could actually be accurate this time?
Yeah, because she's actually going to do it.
Because we set up, I think it was a year and a half ago, like a Calendly type one where it's like it would book appointments for her. Like someone could go on to her schedule and be like, oh, she has Friday at 3 open, click, book. Mm-hmm. Except she went back to paper for her calendar, so she started double booking all these things with the leads.
It's like, yeah, this is my book, and I have it like a hard copy agenda, right?
So we had to turn it off because it's like I have a showing and you have me 3 calls booked during my showing.
Yeah. So now that's actually being good. So she's going to, every Monday, we're going to sit down and saying, okay, so these are the new listings you're getting for the week. This is what you're doing. So the listing's coming up on Wednesday. We're doing the video on Monday. This is the time you're going to do it at, just to kind of keep my life more organized, because I still live in chaos, and it's, as much as I have more free time, it's still chaotic, and there's a lot of stuff that I could improve on, in which she's going to help me improve myself. So yeah,
for me, I worked, after I hired the admin, I think I worked 38% less hours and made 42% more money, right?
Well, exactly.
Just by being more efficient and kind of just focusing on money making activities. Like the lockbox thing, same thing happened to me.
So like the stupidest thing, especially like if we're driving all different areas, I'm like, okay, if I get the key when I'm signing listing paperwork, that's one thing, that's fine, super easy. I'm like, but if I'm the one prepping the listing, putting on Treb and Breb, and then literally doing the feature sheets and doing all that stuff, I'm like, there's so much more stuff I could be doing, implementing, that hopefully this will be one of the best years. She's officially starting on May 1st full time. Awesome. So just in time for the chaos to happen, because May and June are usually the months where I sell probably most of my listings and most of my business.
Yeah, for us to be April, this year will be starting later. It'll be later for sure. Last year was a little bit late too.
Yeah, last year I think.
Sorry, last year was early. The year before was late. Yeah. Last year was just an anomaly, right?
Yeah, last year was just crazy, because I keep track every single year how many deals I do per month, just to kind of keep track. So like last year, like, oh, okay, I'm up to 15 deals for the year, and I'm behind that. So I'm like, oh, this is bad. But then if I go 2 years back, I'm ahead of it. So I keep track of everything, and usually by May and June, I probably do about 20 deals in those 2 months.
That's awesome.
So that's my biggest time frame. So I'm like, oh, now I can be focused on that. So try and increase the business now that she'll be there full time.
That's awesome.
How'd you find her?
She's a client of mine. So I got referred her probably about 5 years ago from an agent, from an out-of-town agent, asked me to do a favor for her to show these people houses. And I'm really good with remembering people's faces. So I go out, meet them for the first time, and I look at her and go, hey, you went to St. Joe's, didn't you? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I know you from high school. And then since then, I've just kept in touch with them the whole time, and they're my clients. They bought a house, bought and sold through me. And I'm one of those people like, oh, I'll come visit you. But I'm like, oh, you've got kids and stuff like that, so I don't want to bother you. So then I just never talk to her. I'm like, hey, we're selling our house. I'm like, hey, look, I'm seeing you every freaking week now. So this is great. So she was doing a home daycare, and I said, I need to find someone that will push me, but is like completely organized and will keep me in track with everything. And then we kind of had a discussion. We went out for lunch a couple of times just to discuss everything. And I was like, okay, I think you'd be a good fit. So she finished her home daycare because now her youngest is going to school. So
awesome.
It was kind of the perfect timing, and she's one of those people that she knows she can push me, and she's an organized freak. So when I showed her my tax pile, she was losing her marbles. I'm like, this is perfect. And when she came to my office the other day to kind of prep everything, she was writing down notes and how to improve certain things. So I think she'll make a huge difference for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's important to have balance. I mean, like my admin and myself are complete polar opposites, and then same with like you guys, right? Like your personality types are so different. I'm a sticky note guy. They're all over me. They're in pockets, right? I have no idea. It's like 2:00, and I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat, and my admin's like, you have an appointment at 2:30. I'm like, yes, I do. Right? So thankfully, yeah, totally. Thankfully, she's like completely high C and S on the disc profile. I'm ID, so we're just it's great to have that balance. I mean, she seems like a super high C, like all color coordinated.
Completely, and she's like, okay, so I'm your admin assistant, so that means I'm assisting you. So if you're out showing a house at 9 o'clock at night and they want to do an offer, I expect you to call me to prep an offer for you. So when you get to the office, it's there and ready. And I was like,
I like you.
why didn't I hire you years ago? Because
Right?
this would have been fantastic. And like, that's what she expects. So she knows that if I'm calling her at 10 o'clock at night, she'll answer, which is great because it's really hard to find someone that's willing to do that. And she's like, no, like if you're not doing that, then it's kind of dumb because I can be doing it for you so that you go there. You'll spend less time having to prep the offer and do everything like that. When you tell me, hey, can you prep this offer? Here's all the stuff that I need. And I get there and it's done and it's ready to go.
That's awesome. I find it's like the biggest hurdle is like knowing that you're going to be supporting someone else's life, right? Like you're paying them and it's on you to support this other person essentially in the way they're supporting you. But it's kind of like that agent who can't afford to jump into real estate full time because they're not making enough, because they're not in it enough. Like they still have that part-time job, you get stuck, right? You're like, well, I can't leave yet because I'm not making enough in real estate, but the reason I'm not making enough in real estate is because I still work part-time at wherever.
Exactly.
So the same thing with hiring an assistant. It's like, well, I don't think I'm busy enough to have an assistant, but then you hire that assistant and you're like, oh my God.
Literally the minute I wrote down, because we're going through the contracts, and she's like, what are you expecting me to do? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll write down kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then as I started writing down all of the jobs that I'm doing, I was like, oh my God, I could be doing so much more stuff right now instead of doing all these little tiny things that are so time consuming and just hand them off to someone else. And I'm one of those people that really likes to control everything.
No way.
So weird, right? Super strange.
Didn't
That
see
it's just
that
like
coming.
all the control. But
Shocker of the episode right there. The Ocho has officially begun.
Yeah, we jumped the shark.
yeah, so it would be really nice because after noticing all the little tiny things that I do, I'm like, I give your company a bunch of stuff to do, and at the same time, I'm still doing all these little minor things that I just gotta keep this stuff. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great because I might actually have an even better work balance now.
Totally. You'll end up doing more of less, right?
Or you'll just
So maybe
fill your
number
time
one
with
next
even more.
She was like, I got number 10. I'm like, number 1, bitches.
Yeah. Son of a-
We're going to have to change it to top 40 under 40 though.
We
That's it.
really are gonna have to do like top 35, maybe, like,
Well, Remax had a top 35 event this year, so you know maybe some pressure to the brass, and we'll
or just do the
35.
millennials because apparently
Totally.
we're millennials or whatever.
Yeah, sweet. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Rico.
Oh, good. I would love that.
I just could talk about it all day.
Oh, yeah. It's keep edge of your seat.
Totally.
Yeah.
Not enough beer in the world for me to drink, talk about.
So when are you
Rico.
going to run for Rico director?
Yeah, why don't you be like a board president or anything like that? Make a change, Drew.
You know what I say? Like
Be the
people, but
change
not.
you want to see in the world.
Wow, Gandhi. No, I like people, but not that much. You know.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'll like read the stuff about it, but
I mean, I vote.
oh, that's more
It's a
than I'd
win.
say.
In what?
Everything I can, I vote in.
Yeah.
I think it's important. You know.
So did you go for Bodie McBoatface or did you go for one of the other options?
Yeah, seriously, right? I didn't even know who anyone. But I'm that kind of person. I'll like Google them. I want to see who they are, and I want to make sure at least my vote's gonna count. It's gonna go to who I would want.
That's the nice part about the internet, right? Like you can literally creep all their stuff and their lifestyle and what they think about.
That's how I used to find referral partners.
Have you
Honestly,
creeped yourselves to see what comes up?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, it's not good. Pornhub comes up.
It's a dark time in my life. The lighting was awful.
Very different
time. Yeah, every once in a
Ocho.
while. But I find like now my computer knows, right? Because I do it weekly. So
You can start using other people's computers. Like, so.
I have to start searching for myself in incognito.
That's it. But I think it's good exercise to do like every couple months or whatever, right? Just to see what's out there for you. Definitely from a different computer. Like if I go to a hotel, just randomly check them, and somebody walks by, it's like, okay, Googling myself. They don't know who I am, but I see my picture. But no, it's important to see what other people, like prospective clients, see. I went to a listing appointment 3 months ago, and started my spiel, and he goes, "Drew, I'll stop you there. I already know everything there is to know about you. I Googled you, I blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You're not competing, you're our guy. I was like, well, fuck, that's awesome.
You want to do that every time?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, so what did you Google? Tell me what you Googled, and then I'm just going to like duplicate that. But no, I was like, okay, that was the first time that I was like, my shit's working, right?
The first time you like stuff.
Well, no, I mean, the first time I was like, okay, I'm not competing. It wasn't a referral. It wasn't, it's just kind of somebody who just had been working with the largest team.
I don't know, that could be.
Yeah, so they were working with that team and weren't happy, right? Felt like a number a little bit. When you're doing 1,000 deals in a year, it's hard to not feel like a number sometimes. So I kind of went in with, got to be on game, on point. They're used to a certain level, and completely blown away of the level that they were getting before I was there. So when he had Googled me, and these guys were early 70s, but pretty tech savvy. So DocuSign, all that, they're just right up on it. But yeah, I was like, okay, whatever I'm doing or whatever's out there is positive, but I need to do more of it, right? So it kind of also, the first one that I've had where somebody just told me straight up, yeah, I Googled you.
Yeah.
That I didn't go on, on Facebook or this or that or ask a friend. They just straight up wanted to find the best person in that area, and thankfully it was me for that client, right? So that was pretty cool. So
you do a lot in like the real estate groups. Do you find that brings you a lot of referrals, or are you just doing it for fun or for future referrals?
There's not many people in Aurelia that come up. Anytime there's anything like Aurelia Severn area, it's always Drew's the guy to kind of go.
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky the last. I was started with like real estate hacks for like one of the groups. It's like 17,000 members now or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And I think when I started, it was like 2, which is not too long ago. Like it's been a huge growth in the last 2 years, I think.
Yeah,
so,
they just keep slowly adding them.
Which is not necessarily the best thing, right? Because you get a lot of people that
rant and complain.
100%, right? I just forget the negativity, but. I started just kind of trying to be that guy that stood out a little bit, has something to contribute though, but also showed that we're not brain surgeons. We're selling real estate. We're helping people with a huge transaction. I don't take that lightly, but we're not changing the world. We're not curing cancer, so let's just relax a little bit and have some fun, but also do a good job, right? So
your videos are the best thing. Like I love them. I just wait for your videos. I'm like, is this gonna be a serious video or no?
Oh, like hey,
so I lived in North Bay, so like, I totally know.
Oh, the referral one, yeah.
The referral one was hilarious. It's like, oh my god, this is like, but you stand out in a way that's great, so that literally. If anyone says Aurelia, I'm like, I could sell Aurelia if I wanted to, but I don't. And it's like, here's Drew.
Yeah, and vice versa, just so she knows that I can sell Barry too.
I do see you on the Barry board with all your listings. I'm like, what is Drew doing? Come on, Drew.
Yeah, no, we have to be on the Barry board just because of Oro Medante, right?
Oh, so absolutely.
Oro would probably be 65% Barry, probably. Just because
you
get more agents, it's half and half,
right?
but probably most like Horseshoe Valley is like just dominated by Barry.
Yeah.
So we had to join the Barry board just so that we could get those listings to our buyers, right? That they didn't come up on our board, because what I find is a lot of the agents, Barry, Toronto, won't post on the local board, right?
Yeah,
whereas
really
I know whenever you had that, like, you posted on our board, which is huge, right? Because now we see it. We're the ones who sell 90% of the real estate in Aurelia is from local agents, 80%.
Yeah.
So being on the Barry board, it's helped with just a little bit of more traffic, getting those Barry agents to see our stuff in a Hawkstone or Oro Station or something like that. But
because a lot of agents are just, I'd say they're too cheap. But
they're cheap. No, they're cheap.
They are too cheap to actually just pay, like, to put a listing on the Aurelia board is like $90.
Yeah.
Like, you're making enough commission to do it, so that's why I'm like, you know what, to do the best service, I'll put it on the Barry, Toronto, and Aurelia board and be like, hey, Drew, if I get any listings, they're yours.
Yeah, well, I mean,
buyers or whatever, right? So it's just, it's worth a while to do the extra steps,
100%.
which is like, and that's why like a lot of our buyers, because Barry's too expensive now, they're all going to Aurelia and Midland area. So it's nice when you post your stuff on Barry, I'm like, oh look, there's a new listing for $320. That's a steal. It's a detached house in Aurelia.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen a lot of people. Like last year, was a lot of people cashing out in the Burlington Oakvilles, coming up to us, retiring 3 years early and buying a house that's nicer for half the money.
Literally half the money.
Selling out for $980, $1 million, buying for $450, $480. retiring 3-4 years early because that's their income for those 4 years or whatever, and being like, wow, that was sweet. Like I have a nicer house now, right? Yeah. So now we've seen a lot of Barrie, especially first-time home buyers. Yeah. We've had a ton of first-time home buyers come up from Barrie because what's your average price now?
Yeah, I think the average price is $534.
So you're getting your new market people going up.
100%, right? I mean, we're the last commutable city to Toronto, to the north, right? Yeah. So for me to get to like a Jays game or Raptors game, I'm an hour and a half to get like right downtown, and that's with that's average traffic. Yeah. Not a rush hour. Rush hour is probably more closer to 2.
Not like the weekend traffic kind of thing, right? That's the only negative about the whole Highway 11, but.
Totally.
It's the same thing as Toronto, right? Like you're doing the commute anyway, so what's the big deal? Or just take the South GO train and then jump on the highway and go.
Yeah, so we have a lot of people buying in Aurelia, working in Barrie, or working in the Vaughn's, New Markets, Auroras, and just copping on the go, right? So they can drive to Barrie for 25 minutes, half hour at the max, to the station, hop on the go, and then they're good, right? And then the infrastructure is just going to keep growing this way. But we're the last kind of large city to the north. Large city of 32,000 people.
It's a really relative comment.
We got Costco, which is...
You do have Costco. That's great. I drove by it the other day.
Yeah. I have a friend in northern Ontario. Like Timmins is their big city, right? And they have to drive in. And it was a big deal that like everyone in the town came out because they got a traffic light installed. 2 years later, they took it out because it wasn't worth it.
Well, Timmins is actually a large city. I know it's not Timmins we're talking about, but that's I've worked all of it. That's awesome. Yeah. We're just not making it. The traffic light, the hydro costs are just Kathleen win.
It's just not worth
for
the
her.
expense.
We just got to get rid of that traffic.
Because I remember I've only been to visit her once, and my wife and I go up and visit. Like, where's the traffic light you told me all about that you're so excited for? Like, oh, we had to get rid of that.
We took a town vote.
Yeah.
It's gone.
She had told me, we bought a house right downtown. And I was like, awesome. How much was that? $80,000?
Freaking wish.
Awesome.
I buy a couple houses, they're $80,000 in Barrie.
I think they have one agent.
I can only afford one because I'm only number 22.
Half is good.
That's it. I want to know how many agents were under 30, so then I can at least be like 22 out of 30.
I think the same thing. Like, how many agents are there? Because when I started, I was 21. Like, I was the youngest agent on the Barrie board because there's no one else that who gets their license at 21. Like, when I got my license was literally a fluke because
it's only people with parents in the business, basically.
A lot of them, right?
And then that's a lot of them do that.
We see that a lot. We go to Remax events for like top agents under 30 or 35 or whatever.
Yeah, they're all mom and dads been in the business for 30 years, and like mine was a co-op job, and I went to Georgian College for business admin because I love paperwork. And then it was the only co-op job that I found that paid cash. And it was the only one I applied to, so if I didn't get it, I was screwed. Yeah. And luckily, the guy who hired me got in a fight with his wife and just hired, literally, this is what he tells people, so I can say it. The hot blonde that came in is why he hired me. And then
so a hot blonde came in, and then he hired you.
Yeah. You're so mad.
A pompous ass.
Yeah.
Pompous ass. That beard is totally yours, yeah. So then I got my license. So then I was his administrator for a year, and we got along great. So he's like, "You should get your license." And I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever. This is great.
Yeah.
Sure." So I got my license, but everyone's like, "Well, have you owned a house before?" No, I'm 21. Can you get a down payment? Like, are you kidding me? I go to college. Yeah. Right? So, it was just through him that I got my license, which was great. And then by 25, 26, people have seen that I've been in the business for at least 5 years. So it actually, I grew my business that way. So I didn't have the fallback. Like, I stayed here for a guy, because, it's a typical female thing. And then, like, my entire family all moved away. So it was just me. So I didn't have anyone to depend on for that. So it was literally, okay, I got to make this work just to kind of get going out there. And then by the time 25, everyone's seen I was in the business for so long. So my friends from high school and from college, thanks to Facebook, seeing that I've been in the business for so long. So I get a lot of my leads are from Facebook, from past people that I went to high school with. Like, I was one of those people that I was friends with everyone. I didn't have kind of a niche of friends. Right. Hence, I don't really have friends from high school. Sure. I just know them through Facebook.
We're Facebook friends.
We're all Facebook friends. Like, that's the way to do it. And it's literally how I grew my business, was just slowly advertising on Facebook, because I literally got, my brother deleted me off Facebook because I was so annoying with the houses I was selling. He's like, you just post annoying things and I'm kind of tired of seeing your face all the time. So I was like, okay, well, if my own
That's
family deletes me, I should probably tone it back a little bit. So then now it's more like yours. You show your personality while you're showing it as well that you sell houses, which is...
Yeah, we try and mix it with the business page and the personal page.
Exactly. So it's not just all business, and that's the way, like, everyone knows I like cats, and there's pictures of my cats, and then of hockey at the Barry
Crazy
Colts
blonde from Barry Colts game.
The screaming chick from the Colts game.
That's literally how you described it to me one time. Was like, yeah, like I do have some interest. I'm that crazy blonde at the Barry games.
Literally, the people around me, I was like, hey, Heather, how's it going? Because I've got a board at the Barry Colts game. And I thought the board, so where I'm sitting, it would be around the bend so I don't see myself. I literally face my face all the time.
Yeah.
So like, hey Heather, how's it going? I'm like, hi.
You're so vain. So I guess because you started when you were 21.
Yeah.
Did you like struggle with your age being like...
It was a huge factor. Like it was one of the biggest factors. So my first year I did 8 deals. And all 8 deals were from duty calls, which was great. But every time I had a listing appointment or a buyer, I said, hey, so yes, I'm 21. I'm new to the business, but I've worked with my partner, Trevor, for 2 years before. So I met him when I was turning 19. So I did 2 years and he learned the ropes of how to do real estate and all that. He took me on home inspections and showings and everything like that and listing appointments. So I would say, I know I'm new, but I do have a partner who's been in business for 20 years, so you don't just get me, you get me as well as his.
Yeah, leverage that, right?
Exactly, and that was the only way to do it. So first year was only 8 deals, and I went to 10, 12, and it slowly, gradually went higher and higher the more business I got, but it was very hard to get started at 21.
Yeah, I mean, you just try and take a negative into a positive. I mean, for me, it was... No, what? I mean,
Pitbull reference.
Is it? I don't know.
It's a song, negative to a positive.
I'm not a Pitbull guy.
Neither am I.
More
Jay-Z Real Estate Wealth Expo.
More cheesy.
I didn't see that. I took off.
I did not go, but I heard about it.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I got licensed 26, and I definitely let that be a factor for me, was my age, and kept going in like, oh, what are they going to say? Like, they're going to talk about, well, you look pretty young, and even though I don't look that young,
Like you be 40, I tell you.
That's a reason why I grew a beard, was that used to make me look a little older.
Right? But then I just started kind of like, okay, well, yeah, you're right. I am young, but I have energy, I have goals, I have ambition. I want to do this, for the next 35 years or whatever. So I want to do it the right way now, and just trying to spin that into the biggest positive I could, because it is hard to have somebody trust you with the largest sale of their life when you've been licensed for 3 months.
Yeah.
Well, I used to joke when I was door knocking when I was selling, because I was 25, I'd be like,
Never door knocked in my life.
Me neither.
I got a deal on the second house I door knocked. That was almost the last one. I got one more, but it was the other one, it's not really a true door knocking, because it's they wanted to buy on one side of one particular street. So I just knocked every door in that street.
Yeah.
What I used to say is I'd go door knocking.
Yeah.
I'm 25, I'd be like, so basically, here's this kid coming up to their door asking to sell their home, and their son, who's my age, is in the basement smoking pot.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but I can sell your house. I'm sober.
When people door knock, I just clearly somebody knocks on my door. I'm not expecting someone, and it's not my neighbor bring me over food. I won't answer the door. Or if I answer, hey.
Wait, your neighbor brings you food?
This is why I'm never. If I move, my neighbor's coming with me because he shovels my driveway, and they know when my boyfriend's away. I get food delivered over.
That's amazing.
I've got the best neighbors ever.
I pay people for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's away right now, so we got dinner tonight. We're staying here.
We're not moving. We're done. I'm gonna call my wife. She's gonna come over too.
Yeah, my wife's 25 minutes away. We have 2 kids running around here shortly. Bring my cat. They can meet. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's why I can never move. We're gonna buy acreage. So yeah, if you have any acreage, we're looking at acreage, and then we literally want to get enough acres at Severus so we can bring our neighbors with us.
That's a little coach house on the property.
Literally, my fire alarm went off in my house, and I have no idea why. I was home by myself. I was not cooking, so it wasn't me. For some reason, my powder room toilet got a crack behind it, and then started leaking.
How was that set off the fire alarm?
No, because our fire alarm was hardwired, so it was leaking downstairs to our basement apartment, and it started going off. So what I do, I'm home alone. I'm not calling 911. I don't smell fire. Knock on my neighbor's door, freaking me out. He comes in, turns off everything, fixes everything. I'm like, and I'm never leaving my neighbors ever again.
Awesome. Yeah, I have great neighbors. You can't pick your neighbors, right?
That's the thing, right?
It would take a special house for us to move, because retired couple on one side that, again, they'll do my driveway if I'm away, all that kind of stuff. And the other neighbors own Giant Tiger, right? And like the deals that they just come home with, we're like, oh my god.
Killing it.
No, but they're amazing. I mean, like they're two teenagers. We put a bunch of money into our house. Our house is 1896. That's when it was built. Took it back to the studs, spent like $200,000 renovating it, and then they've kind of done the same thing. So it's nice, right? When you have that park across the street, we can walk to the waterfront, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, we're blessed. I mean, I think we both understand how lucky we are at 30 to be in the positions we are with real estate and financially and all that kind of stuff. But we also, we work our asses off, right?
Yeah, we work crazy hours. Like before, I probably work 80 hours a week. Like I literally was never home.
Yeah, and I mean, I started out probably the first year and a half doing 70 to 80 hours a week. But we had a realtor in my first brokerage take his own life. The first week I was licensed. It was insane.
That's right.
And then another realtor had a heart attack. And then another one was hospitalized, just all due to stress, right? So I was like, okay, I'm 27.
What did you do to them?
Right. But no, I'm just like fuck that. Like I don't want that. Yeah, I want to make a shit ton of money for my family, and for selfish reasons. But at the same time, I was like, no, I got to figure this out. And the kicker for me was my mom diagnosed with cancer in April 2015. So that's when I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. So that's when I was like, I need to hire an admin. How do I go about that? Started talking to, a Chuck and Melissa Charlton or an Amy Flowers or Dan Gemis, all these kind of team leaders that have done what we're trying to do essentially, different ways obviously, and I just had to say, listen, I don't want to work 80 hours a week. I want to see my two kids grow up. My brother 16 lives with me full time, right? When my mom passed, he moved in with us, so I want to see him grow up and become the man that he is becoming at 16, 17. Nothing like having a 16-year-old move in though, I'll tell you.
Seriously.
And as a brother, like, just got his girlfriend over, you're like high-fiving them, right? And then you're like, wait a minute, you get her pregnant, that's on me. Hold on. Make sure we're doing this the right way, right? So,
do you have to have the talk?
No, you know what, we did a little bit.
Awkward.
Very serious with me, right?
Yeah.
Very serious talk, like sit down, okay? But having the two kids, I mean, honestly, the same age difference between myself and my brother is my brother and my son. So, a great way to pick up girls. But also the best form of birth control. Because like my brother will like watch my little guys 2.5 for like an hour or two and they have the time of their life. But then my little guy starts being a dick. and my brother's like, no.
Nah.
All right, so I got it. I don't even need to talk anymore.
Yeah.
That's the talk.
Bring me to Shoppers, I gotta get the Magnums.
That's it. That's it. All right. Yeah, so it's different, right? But I wouldn't change anything other than obviously I'd love to have my mom here, but we're blessed that we can do those things and take care of everything like that financially, and provide a home for them and a good environment. But it definitely puts things in perspective when you lose your mom, who at 55 she passes, right? And I'm just turned 30, so I'm like, okay, well, that's 25 years for me, right? I don't want to die at 55, but if I am, I better make sure that this next 25 years are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right? So it changes things, puts things, kind of things go maybe ahead of schedule a little bit. And I think both of us as millennials, or I hate that word, but as 87s.
I feel like we're not really millennials because I feel like the millennials just have like the really bad name anyway.
Yeah, no, but as 87s.
And we're awesome.
We're awesome. But I think that we want everything now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to wait till we're 15 years in the business to hit a certain number of deals, or we don't want to wait till we're 20 years in the business like everybody else to get that rhythm or whatever. We want to do it now, right? So everything.
You want to be number 11 now.
Totally, yeah. I mean, if I could just be number 10, I know she'll be number 1. But no, I think a lot of that is just we want to do it now, so let's figure out the best way to do it. And I think the old generation is, we got to do it all ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it my way. Whereas we're kind of like, you're a great example. Like, how do you do it? I don't know. I call Andrew, right? He does it. Just magically things come onto my lap, and then I don't do anything with them. I still kill it, right?
Yeah, like, I get all these leads, and I do literally
You get a new
nothing with
website
them.
built. I'm basically going to turn that into there's a section for testimonials.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's all it's going to say is, how do you do it, Heather? And she's like, I don't know, I just call in.
Which is awesome, right? But I mean, we're both big leverage people. I mean, especially with you hiring an admin, like you have an admin, these guys like killing it for you, and sky's the limit now kind of thing.
Right,
There's no reason for you to not be number one. Just put it out there, but
Besides age.
Besides
Besides, like, we're over the hill now, so we're screwed.
Alright, sure.
Okay, how long ago did you start Just Sell Homes?
Early 3 years in July.
So I started 3 years ago?
You were late August.
Yeah.
You need to see somebody else. You're second client?
Third. So
I tell everyone I'm his first, but hey.
you're the longest one left.
Typical D.
Right? Diva. All the time.
That's from the disc profile.
I didn't say diva, I said D, dominant.
So my first one was actually like my mentor when I did sales.
Yeah.
And so like the first day I decided to start, I called him up. And like he had asked me on before that to like do some stuff on the side for him. So I was like at night, like fixing up their website, doing like a couple little things here and there. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna like do the full, like I'm gonna do this full time. Can you pay me 6 months up front? And he's like, yeah, sounds good. Next day, sent over 6 months up front. I was like, all right. And then I called up someone else who had like, because I was training before that for Remax, I'm like, I can't take on clients. And they'd asked me a bunch of times. I'm like, I can't. And so then I was like, hey, I don't have it anymore. So I called them up. I'm like, so you keep asking me to do this for you. I can now. But can you pay me 6 months up front? They're like, yeah, sure. So then they sent me 6 months up front. So like that first week I made like 10 grand.
That's awesome.
And I was like, all right, I guess I'm actually committed to this. And then kind of went forward. And then I think you reached out to me like 3 or 4 weeks later. And then
Did I reach out to you? I don't remember. It was so
yeah, I think you sent me a message like asking how to do something. And I was just like, here's how you do it. And you're like, fuck it, can you just do it for me?
That's awesome.
That sounds like something I would say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No. He's like, oh yeah, the company's Just Sell Homes. I'm like, sweet, here you go. Because I don't have the time and patience.
Well, that's how the name came about. The first guy who hired me, like I literally sat down with him and his partner, it was Marcel and Barbara, and we're sitting at the table. He's just like, fuck, I just want to sell homes. I'm like, that's the name. And I literally went online right away. I'm like, justsellhomes.com, GoDaddy. It's available. I'm buying it.
That's awesome.
But it becomes a fun pitch thing. It's like, I don't know if you remember when we sat down the first time.
In Aurora.
Yeah. So like we were sitting down to pitch him. He didn't hire us. That's why he's number 22. So I remember because this has now happened multiple times where we let the potential client talk to us about what they want to do. And without even realizing, I remember Drew going, I just want to sell homes. And then you just look at me and you go, fuck you. You talked yourself into it. And I was like, so at that point I'm like, oh, we're definitely getting this client.
Yeah, I think for me it was, I don't even know what, we talked about, like we still do stuff. We do all our listings, which kill it, which is awesome. So I don't, whatever, step my game up. But yeah, I think I was just so green still in terms of how things
Well, it was pretty early for you.
Yeah, it was over.
Because that was not quite 2 years ago.
Not quite 2 years
yet,
ago.
but it was pretty close. So you were what, 2 years in?
2 years in.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd
We
finish
don't-
my second year, right?
Yeah, for the most part, we don't take on people that new in the business.
Right. And it was like, financially a commitment, obviously, right?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
which is, you get what you pay for with everything, and I get that. But I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you get stuck. It's like, well, I'm doing this much business without it. Is that really going to add? For me, I'm always ROI, right?
Yeah.
And I definitely saw the ROI, but I was like, it's just so hard.
Oh, no.
You just get stuck, right? You're like, oh, do I commit to this? And then 3 months in, you just panic because nothing's happened in 3 months, because typically it doesn't necessarily in 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I just put out this money and I haven't received anything back. And
Well, so I got a client. Second week they were working with us, I got a $700,000 listing. And this is back when $700,000 listings in the GTA were a big thing.
Yeah.
And then the next week ends up firing us because he didn't like the return he was getting. I'm like,
just paid
if just off of all you've paid me already, it was a 15 times return on his investment. I was like, all right, not for you.
Yeah.
That was mine too, like testing out, like the first year you took over my website and fixed things up, and within 2 weeks I got a listing, and then they sold, and then they both bought. So I'm like, well, you pay for yourself, that's fine. And if I was actually better with my follow-up, I'd probably be doing a lot better than I am.
I think we all can improve on follow-up. I mean,
Right,
my
it's
follow-up
just...
it's getting better. It's not where it should be. It's not as systemized as it should be, but I don't exercise either. God given.
This is how it comes.
The bathroom's over there.
6'4", 237, all fat.
I'm rocking a solid 40% body weight.
Yeah,
body
I
fat.
think it might be higher than that. Yeah,
But the problem
the
with
rest
the
is blood.
the problem with the accountability is you can easily lie. It's like, oh yeah, I did that,
Totally.
and I would say that, and I don't do it, and I'm like, it's not something I see face to face, so I can totally lie about it. It's like, oh yeah, I did those calls. Yeah, absolutely. No.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I struggle with that too. I coach with Kathleen Black right now, and they're good with keeping me accountable. But at the same time, if I'm not going to keep myself accountable, that's it, right?
Yeah.
So as my I did that, and she'd be like, oh, great, fantastic, and then she'd be like, well, why are you not getting to where you're at? If you say you're doing all these things, like it should be working, but I'm like, yeah, I haven't done that, right? Okay. So. You're gonna get it's like anything. You're gonna get what you put into it, but you gotta find like there's so many coaches out there. There's so many different like models that coaches have. Yeah. I think that's when you did like that coaching kind of interview, right? Where like which huge, right? Because I don't fit with certain style coaches. I don't fit with just
with the hootie tootie.
Totally.
Mantra whole like.
I also like a new vehicle every year or two because I don't like the same thing all the time.
Every 3 years, I get a new car.
I'm
in the search right now. I just hit you 3, and I'm like, I can't stay in my car.
Yeah, like mine's up in July. Like it'll be 2 years.
Do you lease?
Yeah.
At least 2. You can write it off.
Yeah, but you too many kilometers?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's because
I'm already like 40,000 kilometers, and I got my car in October.
So I got
Stop
mine.
taking listings in Markham, Ottawa,
Aurelia. Stop visiting my family in Trenton. Like my sister needs to stop having babies.
They have to come to you,
right?
Yeah, I'm like basically right in between 20 and 24,000 K.
So I got my car when I was still a trainer for Remax, and there you're driving to every brokerage in Ontario.
Yeah.
So I was putting on I had to get a lease that allowed me for 30,000 kilometers a year. That was in May.
It's a high lease, yeah.
And then in July, done.
Yeah.
Working from home. My most drive now is dropping my daughter off at daycare, which is in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I think round trip, it's 1.5 kilometers to daycare and back. That's the majority of my driving. So like now I'm 3 years into my lease and I have 49,000 kilometers.
I wish.
So like I'm gonna turn it in. Like they estimated my value when I turned it in at $4,500. It's probably gonna be like 12 grand now.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I was like, hello.
Yeah, so for me, I'll be the same thing. I mean, like with coaches, I just need that new voice every once in a while to that new motivation, that new whatever. As much as I love like a Gary Vee, the message kind of runs thin sometimes, and then you gotta flip it off and go to Tony Robbins or whoever.
Exactly, right.
And you get different perspectives. And for me, I try and watch like a 30-second to a 3-minute video or podcast or something, just like a quick little in the morning on my way to work, which is a 45-second drive.
It's a long commute.
It is. It's tough, man.
The longest commute to breakfast.
Yeah. So, but it just gets me going in the morning, right? And sometimes it could be a Ryan Hodge, it could be a whoever, it could be anyone in our area. It could be.
Yeah.
She doesn't do video or anything, but
one day.
I'm gonna start doing just like Drew's like, hey, he calls me. He's like, hey, I know you don't like phone calls, so I'm calling you. I'm like, what the fuck is Drew calling me? He's like, congratulations. I'm like, can you text that?
Thanks for that personal touch, but don't talk to me. No eye contact. No eye contact.
Well, somebody has sent me the thing saying like the top 30 was like posted in Ram magazine for under 30, and because they sent congrats, and I was like, for what? I have no idea. Because Remax, they used to, I guess, message us or email us, let us know, but no idea.
Yeah.
So they sent me a picture of it, and I was like, okay. So I saw Heather, so I immediately picked up the phone because I know how much she loves the phone. She doesn't pick it up, and she's like, oh, fuck, it's true, right? So left her a voicemail. Her voicemail was just like, hey, I know how much you love the phone, so that's why I'm calling you. Pick up the phone.
Was literally the message.
Yeah. I was like, make sure you call me back. Don't you goddamn text me. I swear to God. Started going off, and then 10 minutes, half hour later, call me. Hey, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. What do you want? Okay, a little enthusiasm here.
Why are you calling me?
Yeah. And then I tell her, she's like, oh, sweet. Well, gotta go. I'm like, click.
Well, when you're that good at her level, it's
I was at the listing appointment. Like, all right, cool. See, like, you called me twice. I'm like, this is gotta be important. He's like, oh, you got this. I'm like, oh, sweet. I didn't know. That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. But story of my life was calling girls, right? Just kind of
doesn't work out.
Deflected. Deflect.
Pure dejection.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
My longest relationship before my wife, 2 weeks and 6 days.
Oh man, I thought I was bad at 3 months.
Yeah. Never made it to 3 weeks. Yeah. If I made it to 3 weeks, I'm like, I didn't marry this girl. I did.
A couple months in for us, we said we were gonna get married.
I'm 8 years. I'm still not married.
Good for you.
It's not my choice.
So should we be high-fiving him?
Probably.
High five to
Too bad
Vegas.
he's in Vegas enjoying the sun and the
That's
warmth.
why he's not married. He's in Vegas.
It's the pre-bachelor party.
Yeah, we should pour one for him, you know?
One for my boy.
That's it. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, and I think, you're lucky you have a partner. I say partner.
Yeah. Can't say husband.
No. So, but like they get it, right? Like they get the business. I mean, my wife struggled with that. She's self-employed too. I mean, plug, she made that shirt. But she gets it. Like her dad built his business from the start, ground up. So we go on a vacation. It's not like it's a holiday. It's a trip. Like we're still working. We're connected, especially with what we can do now with phones and computers and
It's
stuff.
hard to turn off, right?
Yeah, and even if you want to turn off, sometimes like it's impossible. I would say it's
Unless you
possible.
go on a cruise, because I
Totally.
did that.
Yeah, you can totally do it. You just gotta have the people that can help you out when you do it. But having that partner that gets it, that like when you're not home till 9 o'clock at night, they understand that what you're doing is for everyone in that house, right? So that's crucial. I think easiest would be to have somebody who's single because they can just roll and do whatever they want, right?
And that's the thing, right? It's as long as your partner understands. Like before, when I was working with Trevor, that was my problem. I was literally never home. And I think I did this at the Collingwood when you had me on the panel. I was like, I decided to go on my own was because I was working way too much. I'm like, well, my boyfriend still hasn't proposed yet, so what do I need to do? I'm like, maybe I should be home more often. And the only way I could be home
propose, my man. She's home.
You're gonna run this section.
She's home right now.
It's 30 too. Like, let's go. Like,
But she's home right now drinking beer with 2 dudes.
That's true.
So, I mean,
and you
just
left.
He's in Vegas. It's
That's true. He's probably drinking with like 3 girls.
He's probably already drunk right now.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
Poolside.
But the thing is, literally having that person that he's like, I tell him like, oh yeah, I'll be home at 6 o'clock. So he's like, okay, well dinner will be here at 7:30 because you probably won't show up till 7. And he understands that like it's realtor time is kind of what they call it.
Totally.
But if you kind of get to yourself where I'm kind of able to actually communicate a little bit better, saying, hey, you know what, our clients are running late, or they want to do an offer, and actually like responding to them saying, hey, I'll be home late. I used to not do that, and it's like, well, I'll be home when I'm home. This is my business kind of thing.
Right.
And it's just having a partner that understands that. And at least like with your wife and kids too, right? It's kind of like.
Yeah, I think having
You're
kids
even
has
better.
changed things a bit too, right? But also having my brother at home, like I didn't want her to feel like super responsible for having all 3 people, like my 12-week-old, the 2.5-year-old, and the 16-year-old fed while I'm out just doing business, right? So
Right, this is business, right? So like,
yeah, totally. But I kind of give it like an A and B time now, right? Like I'll be home at 5 if everything can. But if they want to do an offer, I'll be more like 6 to 6:30. But now I let her know, hey, by the way, we're doing an offer. I'll be home at 6:30. But I've already set that expectation. The big thing that she just wants is, we're never going to be late for a client,
no, ever.
right? But we're late for our spouses all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Right? And that's not fair to them at all. But now I've kind of just blocked off that time like it's an appointment. So I try my best to be home every day during the week from 4:30 to 6:30.
Yeah, mine's 5 to 8.
Yeah, so that's awesome, right? So at 4:30 to 6:30, my wife, when she's on mat leave right now, but when she's working, she works till 4. Picks up Lil at daycare. She's home by 4:15. So I get there at 4:30. I'm home for like dinner essentially. My brother's there if he's not working. 6:30, we're done dinner, and then I go out and show some more houses or do whatever I have to do. But that needed we didn't have like a real conversation about that. Was in order for me to get to these goals that I have in the business, I need to work extensive hours and this and that. What do you need, right? So she's like, if you were home for dinner every night or tried to be, that would be huge. And I was like, done, right? So I just blocked off that time. Like, someone wants to go see us at 5 o'clock. Sorry, I already had an appointment at that time. And they're like, okay, does 6:30 work? Yes, it does. Right?
Most of the time, if they're serious and they're working with you, they're
100%,
willing to do it. And as long as you say, hey, I've got another appointment or something going on, then that's the best
And
way
last
to
year
do
in
it.
the market, when it was a little insane, we didn't have that time sometimes. So
Yeah, like that time it kind of makes sense. Like this market is insane. Like this list just got listed. We have to see it now. Offers are being done right away. Let's go. Here go, right?
For sure, and they get that. But as long as they understand that they're a priority, right? But I think like anything, it takes money to make money, right? So. And
that's the thing. Like, yeah, I did more deals, but you still did a significant amount of deals. And as long as you're happy with quality of lifestyle, like it's every single penny that.
I worked 35 to 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Right. And you work significantly more.
Probably, right? I'm just a work addict.
But yeah, you love
like
work.
I don't have kids or anything like that to worry about. Like the only thing I focus on is like, okay, I'm working all the time, and if I'm not working, I'm probably watching a hockey game or I'm playing hockey, which is probably the only reason why I'm not out selling.
Yeah,
which is what I did last year.
Yeah, you said you feel like stir crazy when you're not working, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't go work, right? Which is awesome. I think it's just all about quality of life.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do. Then...
It's what I'm used to, and it's what I like to do. Like in December, it kills me because it's not a very busy month, and I'm like, hey, I'm sitting on the couch at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I could be doing like work stuff right now, but I'm not, and this is
video
crazy, right? Doing a video, no.
Yeah, green screening, making a summer video, right?
I'm on a beach.
Yeah, that's it.
Call me, let's go.
Actually, I was talking to this guy. He's not in real estate. He's a marketer, and he's like, every vacation I ever go on, I bring a video camera, and I film at least 2 or 3 videos with me with something cool in the background, only so I can write off the vacation as a work trip.
That's awesome.
He's like, it's promo material for my business because he'll have the mountains in the background. He'll be like, I just have to tie a mountain theme into my video so that it makes sense. I'm in the mountains. And he's like, right off.
I'm going to do that with my upcoming trips.
He literally showed one of the videos to the CRA when they questioned it. And he's like, no, I had to go to make this video. Look, it had 20,000 views on it. Like, this is integral to my business.
You have to make a video about how like, first class is different than coach.
Right? My clients get first class, so live here with me.
Oh, wow. You nailed it.
Yeah. Natural.
Cool. Right there.
It is
golden.
It's 100% a write-off now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just to play just to write off.
Now you're being in Greece, just like laying on a beach, being like, the sand going through my fingers. See how easily that flows? That's like working with me. Like sand flowing through your fingers.
I feel like I'm just going to do a video just so you can have that, just to be like, hey, I did this video for you.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Here you go. But there's sands coming through them.
Yeah. I'm just going to talk for an hour on camera to cut into a 30-second trip to write off a vacation.
Right? Or it's like where people go to like the Remax events down like in Europe, and I was like, oh, it's a Remax, like it's an event, so I can write it off. And I was like, but you don't attend the event at all. Just like everyone who goes to R4 in Vegas, they just go to Vegas. They don't actually go to the events.
Well, it's funny. Like I talk to some people who will go like, because I go to a conference in Manhattan every year, and it's in Times Square. And there's a lot of people who go there, like, you haven't seen any of the sessions. They're like, oh, I didn't even buy a ticket to the conference. I just hang out in the lobby.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
but it's true. Like some people do that, where they'll go to certain things. I don't go to any of the U.S. events just because I feel like the U.S. is so significantly different from Canada. I'm like, I can't do half the stuff like people go after expires and all that stuff. You can't do that here, so it's so different. So I don't like I won't take a coach from the U.S. because it just doesn't make sense to me. But the amount of people that will go to the events in the States, and that's like, yeah, I should just do that. Just go to an event. They're like, oh yeah, I'm here for a conference.
But if you do the video trick, you can just write off anywhere.
Right?
No matter what.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Maldives?
Perfect.
Done.
Totally. Yeah.
This overwater hut. Real estate lesson number 1. Location.
It's similar to the koi pond in the backyard over here, right?
You're going to literally, every one of your videos on vacation is going to be you being like, location. And that's the whole write-off.
One of you like this? Barry Waterfront has his location. Nothing but water.
I could be in Barrie.
That's awesome.
There's a 6-week window where it would look this nice.
Literally 6 weeks in front of this.
When I first started, we had a broker, and she's like, hey, I got a referral for something in Barrie. Like, I know you don't want to go to Barrie, but for the experience of getting the listings, it was early enough I never had one. She's like, you should do it. So instead of referring it straight out, co-list with a Barrie agent to learn. They found me someone super experienced. And we're sitting there at the table like, your house is worth like $350.
Must have been years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like a detached bungalow backing onto a ravine. Like it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're probably like $350. Like you've renovated and like you're still doing a little work down here. If you do it the way you say you're going to do it, we might be able to get $360.
Yeah. And
he goes, yeah, they ended up going with an agent who told them they get $430. And I'm like, no. Then he's like, but you're not from here. I'm like, yeah, but I can see the numbers. Like,
The numbers don't lie. When you pull the paperwork, I remember when I even had like the listing in Aurelia, and I'm like, I have no idea what it's worth, and then pull it up, and I'm like, okay, well, you're listed at 300. You're totally not worth 300. Like, professionally, there's no way. And then it like sold for like 250.
Yeah, they were like 4 months later, a different agent, 345.
Yeah.
I was like, happens all the time.
Yeah.
I just go, hey Drew, so what do you think this is? Thanks. I'm gonna sell the area.
Still gonna come up and do it.
I owe you lunch, which I've never got.
It's true. Every time I'm like, I'll go to Aurelia, I'll buy you lunch. And last time I went, there was just like a blizzard snowstorm.
Yeah, because I'll be there for this listing. I go.
I'll take a listing, but any buyer, I'll be like, here, Drew.
Confirmed. What the hell? Switching my listings too? What's next for you after this event?
I don't know. I never want to be like a really big team.
Yeah.
I just, like, I might end up with...
Sure, Brendan Clemens would come work for you.
He keeps telling me, he's like, you try this person, you try that person. Like, he's got, I think he just hired one more person on his team, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 now. And I think he's happy with, like, that number.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, for now, depending on how much he grows. I probably will max out at 5 buyer's agents, depending on if I utilize what you do for me and actually do it properly, then I'll probably need a lot more help and I'll need to grow. So
we've gotten, or whether it's you or someone on the team who can actually call.
Right, and then
ramp up the, like, they'll also increase the monthly ad spend too at that point.
2 to 3 leads per day is kind of the number to, add every agent. Like,
what we found is like 50 leads a month per agent is kind of the right.
Yeah, that's basically 2 to 3, right?
I think in like January I had 175 leads just from the stuff that you did for me. So like I get enough leads to do it. It's just converting them. I was just never really paid attention to them.
Which is why we did like the follow-up boss automated.
Yeah, because I was awful at it, and still then I'm still awful at it. So we're still.
There's so many. Like I'm
It's
just
a
looking at like the
process.
number of leads that we've sent over time, and I'm like, even at the like lower end of the average, which is like 1%.
1%. Yeah.
I'm like, you probably have an extra 30 deals a year.
Yeah, which I've done one so far. Yeah. And then they liked me because my follow-up was just, like the follow-up drip campaign that you did for me was just so, she's like, I've done the drip campaign of another realtor and they just seemed so pushy and they were calling me when I was in Costa Rica. I was like, you didn't call me, you just slowly emailed me just to follow up with me and stuff like that. And then they ended up buying. I literally showed them 5 houses one day, did the second showings the next day, and then they bought a house. And she's like, I feel like I didn't get to know you long enough, but I'm really happy. Like, we might sell a house too, so you're great. Like, at least awesome. That way it worked out really well. But I'm sure that if I am able to utilize everything that we do in all the leads to kind of convert them, I literally had 4 agents approach me wanting to be on my team. I just need to be busy enough and have my systems done properly to make sure to be able to grow better.
Yeah, I think like for me is like having the systems down first is important to just grow. So now that I know how many leads I need in order to get another agent, and now it's scalable, right? And we talked about that 2 years ago, is kind of creating a scalable business that you can just kind of turn that dial up, get more leads coming in, but at least when they come in, they have places to go, and those people know what to do with them, right?
Well, there's that one time when you did on Real Estate Hacks, you like some agent emailed you with reverse prospect, and you literally emailed out to like 60 different clients, and you're like, I don't know how she's getting this information or where these clients are.
What was that?
It was a while ago where somebody just emailed you saying, hey, I noticed you emailed out my listing to like a bunch of different of your clients, and you're like trying to figure out how she was getting them or whatever like that. Like at least that way, so you're clearly getting your clients and converting them to get them into like a systems lead, where I'm still not fully immersed in doing that because I have enough business as it is.
You have enough volume too, where like
to do
you
that.
Just keep calling. Like eventually, a few of them will just by sheer volume.
My admin would take that new lead and then she would put them into like the matrix system automatically, and then we follow up from them. We're gonna send them out things like that just so they see some value from us, and then from there we try and convert them to a buyer.
And that's
working
the
on a
thing
new thing for you though, and it's gonna be interesting.
So I'm like his guinea pig, which is good. Like, you can use me for whatever you need real estate wise.
So,
which is the nice part about you is that you guys like, I'll just like, here's a new listing and stuff like that, or this is my idea because I deal with military. Like, hey, can you do a military post or whatever?
Got a lot of engagement on that, like people liking and hearting that one video or photo.
Yeah. My clients do the picture like, hey, there's our first day outside, and it's like my military client in uniform, which my one girlfriend wouldn't do it, and I've gotten them to do like a testimonial before too, and I was like, oh, you guys do that, like, can I use this for like an ad? And like, oh yeah, go ahead. I'm like, love you guys. Like, you're great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think with any of your leads or other PPC leads, I mean, it's always a numbers game, right? Like you said, even if you're getting 1% of the leads that he does, I mean, that's
Like
that's
the
enough to
listing
sustain.
leads are the lowest quality leads too.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
You can't like this is like one of the issues that we'll get. Like we'll get someone new who's like, I build my business 95% referral, and I'm like, and we want a lot of leads. I'm like, no, you don't. Like I know you. Like you're used to come listings. Like
Yeah.
you get a
Yeah.
call and it's like, and like you're not gonna chase through 100 leads. Like
What's the average that says like 6 to 9? Like in terms of like reaching out to them 6 to 9 times? Is
So the numbers are
Isn't it a lot higher than that?
93% of people you'll make contact with them on the 6th or 7th attempt.
Yeah.
On the 10th to 12th attempt is when you normally get the appointment.
Okay.
And 90% of people give up by the 3rd call.
Right.
Yeah. Which is true.
Yeah.
And I think like some of the email drip campaigns that you have for me, which a lot of people like, they might respond right away, and then it might be like the 5th one later, and then they'll actually respond back. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're not actually looking at buying, we're looking at renting. Like, oh, I can help with that too, and then there you go, right?
Well, that's what we're trying to set up this 72-hour thing to like get those people who are like a little bit further along to like
Yeah.
self-identify.
That'd be sweet.
But then it's not like you have to decide in 15 minutes. Like we'll give you 72 hours to like talk to your wife. And
Yeah, we do the text and email kind of simultaneously.
Yeah.
Because if they do get back to us right away, they'll get back to us in one of those two. So then if they text us back, we know that they're texters, right? So
Yeah.
we'll just text and keep going. But then if they don't send us one of those within an hour, they get the bomb. And the bomb is, it's stock, it's me, but it's the same thing that, hey, thanks for signing up, just want to put a face to a name, so that way when we're talking in the future, you know who you're dealing with, blah, blah, blah. So we kind of find it's the perfect medium between an email and a phone call.
Yeah.
It's personable. They can open it as they want to, and they can watch it. And then with BombBomb, it's nice because you can track it, so I can see that they watched it 4 or 5 times, right? I can see that they open it like right away.
They think you're cute.
Totally, right?
people's eyes.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, and it gives me a reason to call. Like,
Yeah.
hey, did you get my whatever? Is the system working great? Anthony Brown script, kind of. We use that now, which is awesome. So more of a courtesy call rather than a sales call, right? So just getting that wall down
You
for
should
people.
send that to you.
And I'm like, so true. I'm really gonna take it for like a nice lunch.
Yeah,
I'll
it's-
pay for a day for your wife, and I'll babysit your kids, and then just give me all your shit.
I think you'll regret that immediately. But yeah, as soon as they hear realtor, the wall goes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you say this is just more of a courtesy call,
Yeah.
to see if the system's working great for you, wall down, okay? Because you're not trying to sell.
Yeah,
right?
it's not like, hey, do you want to buy a house? Are you ready? Let's
100%.
go.
So that's why like
Right?
yours works now. Is it's just like, hey, just checking if you need anything.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how's that house been going? I see that you looked at a couple of houses. Like, how's that going?
It's relationship building.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we're in sales business as much as we're in customer service business, right? So
It's not like we're like kind of like, oh, I need to convert this person to make sure I get money because I'm so starving kind of thing. Where there's a lot of people that have that mind frame.
I've been lucky. I've had one client in my 4+ years that complete dick. That's it.
Yeah.
The only one that doesn't get a Christmas card or Christmas present or a follow-up, and I don't, like, he's just a dick. He's an ass.
Yeah.
Went through 3 mortgage brokers and 2 lawyers on one deal because no one knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
So I was like, thank God.
Those deals are great.
Yeah.
I remember I got a deal one time, and someone in my house was like, "How'd you get this listing?" And I was like 8 months in. I'm like, Kijiji, and they're all just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
But all that happened was like I was a guy like every morning I go on Kijiji and just scroll to like every ad related to real estate, and this woman wanted a $900 basement apartment rental, and I was like, "Fuck it, what am I doing? I'll help you out." Give her a call, showing her the basement apartment for $900. Her boyfriend shows up. Turns out he needed to sell his house, and his ex-wife was an agent, and he didn't want to use her.
Perfect.
So listed his house, and then he's like, listed the house for $6,000. He's like, I want to buy it for $750.
Yeah.
I was
Sure.
like, all right.
Okay.
Deal.
Perfect.
Literally just came from showing a $900 a month basement apartment. And
I
like,
don't know, right?
Yeah.
What's your most random deal? How did you, like, most random client? Other than, like, internet leads, but.
my ex-girlfriend.
I do have a ex-girlfriend currently. Yeah. And my ex-boyfriend's parents. They want me to list a house here and then list their house, and then it was like 5 years later, and then they asked me to list a house in Ajax. That's usually my most random ones. Is like.
Was raking my lawn. Raking my like we had cut down 6 feet of a pine tree, like the branches were all dead. So I was like kind of raking up all the pine, and somebody like pulled up and then put their window down. And I'm like just a sweaty mess, right? They're like, excuse me, do you know how much the house is 2 doors down from you? I was like, I actually do. I know exactly how much it is.
Yeah, I've been in it.
Yeah, we looked at it. They're like, oh, okay, great. And I told them there's a triplex, so then they were looking for a single family home. They're like, well, what about your house? I was like, what about my house? They're like, well, is it for sale? Like, I was like,
Really?
no,
Of course it is.
but everything's for sale. I said, you want to come take a look? They're like, sure, your wife doesn't mind? I said, she's not home. So my house was like a disaster. Not a disaster, but like for her standards, a disaster, right? They come through, they love it. They're like, Drew, we love it. I was like, okay. They're like, what would you? He was like, we don't have like, it's kind of random. Like, give us a number. And at that point, I thought my house was worth about $525. So naturally, I told them $575. And they're like, done. And this was like 2 days later. I was like, oh fuck.
Now you gotta tell your wife.
Yeah. So I told my wife, I was like, what would you sell this house for? She was like, well, I think if we like netted 5, we'd sell it. Because if I pay it 2.5, right? I was like, okay, so here's the deal.
I already sold our house, just so you know.
We can net $575 right now. She's like, what are you talking about? Well, on Saturday, when you were at the grocery store, she's like, what? So then we kind of, and so I called these people. I said, listen, we'd like to take kind of 2 weeks to just make sure this is what we want to do. And they're like, 100%. They were one of these Oakville people that are like kind of cashing out, or they're Bronte, so they're cashing out. And I was like, oh. So we started looking at houses, right? And we're like looking around, and eventually I got back to them and said, listen, we would definitely sell at $575 to you guys. We're just like, we've been here less than a year. We just had a baby, all these things are happening. So I just don't think we're mentally in a place that we could do this again kind of thing. Because anything we'd probably want to renovate, like we were buy on the water and do a reno or something. They're like, Drew, we get it. It's all good. So I ended up selling them something else. And got a referral for their sale in Bronte. So, but so close to selling them by raking, right? And hat on backwards, loose shirt, shorts, just raking, hey, straw hanging out my mouth basically. That was my most random one. I almost sold my own house. It was insane. Because you put a $50,000 premium on it because you're like, well, I don't really want to move, but I will $50K.
Everybody's got a number, right?
Yeah, everyone has a number. Yeah. Someone wants to give me 7 right now for it, which is maybe a little more than 7. But it was just oh shit! I just totally didn't think that. Oh, that's a little high.
Yeah, if my house sale has if it's 7 numbers,
done.
It's gone.
Right.
I will move.
That was before, I used to have my name on my car when I had my old Honda. It was outside the street, and during the peak of the season, everyone's like, so a client drove by this neighborhood and they saw your car out front. So were you listing for me? I'm like, no, that's my house. Do you want to sell? Nope. My boyfriend's like, well, if we're getting this number, let's go. And I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
I know what people go through to get their houses ready for sale. I'm like, and I don't even have kids, and I barely even utilize my house at all.
My wife's been in the same house since '86. Her parents bought it in '87.
My parents were 89 and they haven't moved.
Yeah, so they've been there the entire time, still there. So whereas I was 24 houses in 26 years, right? So I'm like, I'll move every fucking day, whatever. I mean, as much as I hate moving, but let's do it, right? So
if the money's right, then sure. I'm like, last year we could have sold and gotten $1 million for a house. I would have been laughing because we bought for 4.
Yeah.
And then I'm the one person. I'm like, I'm not moving. Do you know who my neighbors are? They're amazing.
Yeah, but for $1 million, you get that house.
And that's the thing. But we can go buy property and build. And I'm like,
I remember this was kind of a super random deal. I was finished an open house and I would leave.
Yeah.
And I'm driving 2 streets over. Another person was doing an open house, but it was 4:15, so they had left. And I see these people, because it's one of those really long streets, and I can see these people standing in front, they walk up, and then I see them come back, standing there, and they both kind of look like,
I missed my open house.
I just pulled over, got up, and be like, did you guys want to see this house?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but I guess the open house is done. I'm like, hold on a minute. I just picked up a phone, called the house, and I'm like, I'd like to book a showing.
Awesome.
Just put the showing on the spot because like I knew it was a vacant house because I had shown it before.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd like to book a showing. They got back to me like 3 minutes later with the lockbox code, which I actually already had, but I still had to like,
Exactly,
go
right.
through the channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm like, all right, we're in.
Cool.
Private showing, new clients.